The following is a presentation of the Mat Talk Podcast Network.
From the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, this is Legends. I'm Jason Bryant. Prepare for a journey through wrestling's past, present, and future, as we'll hear the great stories of wrestling and success from the true legends of the sport here on Hall of Fame Legends. He devoted a lifetime to the sport of wrestling, but in more than 60 years as an athlete, coach, and teacher, Charlie Speidel contributed far more to the lives of others than ever can be recorded in the statistics of achievement. He was a pioneer for wrestling and helped it gain stature as a major sport in the high schools and colleges in Pennsylvania and across the eastern states. He traveled extensively, often with arch-rival Billy Sheridan, to present clinics and introduce the sport. The record shows that Doc Speidel coached 38 years at Penn State University. His teams won 191 dual meets and lost only 53. 7 of them were undefeated. They won 8 Eastern Intercollegiate Team Championships and 56 individual titles. 6 of his wrestlers were national collegiate champions. And in 1953, his Nittany Lions became the only Eastern squad ever to win the NCAA Team Championship. He was an author of wrestling books and articles for such publications as the Encyclopedia Britannica. During World War II, he served 4 years as a fleet recreation officer in the South Pacific. In 1930, he brought the nation's wrestling coaches together and founded the National Wrestling Coaches Association, later serving 2 terms as its president. All of this is a matter of record. But Charlie Speidel's contributions cannot be measured by victories and defeats. First of all, he was a teacher who gave of himself to enrich the lives of young men. He taught total wrestling, not only the mechanics, but enthusiasm, self-reliance, and the importance of deep dedication, hard work, and the strength of the will to win. He stressed the importance of education and insisted that his athletes complete their degrees. Recognized as one of the great coaches and one of the great humanitarians of the sport, Charles Martin Speidel is honored as a distinguished member of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, class of 1979.
It's really quite a privilege for me to be here tonight. And looking out through this group, I'm sure all of you recognize that everyone is appreciative of people who excel. But very few people ever leave their mark for the generations to follow. This evening we have 6 gentlemen here who have excelled and who have left their mark. One of these is Charlie Speidel. Charlie was a very unique, very interesting, and very different man. He was one who was respected by all the boys that ever wrestled for him. I know that the people in the service, the people in the community, have always looked upon Charlie not only with great admiration and respect, but with a great deal of love and just simple friendship. Now, Charlie was a pioneer in wrestling. He would go out in central Pennsylvania, promote the sport. Charlie would go out anytime anyone would be interested in wrestling. There was Charlie. He devoted his life to this sport. And I think that many of us here tonight sometimes just take it for granted. We have the nice banquet here. We have tournaments where thousands of people attend. But this wasn't always the case. And it's people like Charlie Speidel who have made it possible for all of us who have followed to enjoy the fruits and the benefits of a marvelous sport. I'm sure that that those of us who are here, all of his friends and all of his acquaintances, are very proud of Charlie, and I hope that we all can share the joy and the love of the sport that he had, but also tonight, even though Charlie probably doesn't realize that this is occurring, I know that we all, deep in our hearts, wish the best for Charlie and to have a lot of joy in sharing this evening with him. I think it's only appropriate that one of his outstanding wrestlers, Mr. John Johnston, should be here to accept this award for Charlie Speidel. So I'd like to have John come forward and receive the award for Charlie Doc Speidel.
Another one of Doc Speidel's former champions and currently the wrestling coach of the U.S. Military Academy is here also. I would like him to share in this moment with us and come up and have a few words, please. Mr. Ron Pfeiffer. I'm certainly in awe and honored to be here. Not only did I wrestle for Doc Speidel, but I also grew up in a place called Bellefonte, which is about 10 miles down the road. And in high school, I don't ever remember wrestling in a gym that was not completely full. I can remember times when we had to move the people to be able to open the gym doors to get in to wrestle. And I attribute this to the hard work of Charlie Speidel. Of about third grade, I started going to camps with Charlie Speidel. I imagine I've attended over 50 camps where he would just go around and promote wrestling. And the cost of the camps was $5. So that's how far back that goes. He's the kind of Mr. Personality. I think Coach Cole really hit it. When this guy walked down the street, he said hello to everybody. His big thing was, "Hi, Doc, how you doing?" And I think he said, "Hi, Doc," a lot of times because I'm not sure he knew everybody that he pretended to know, because he just talked to everybody. I can remember wrestling matches, when you look over, he'd be sitting in the stands talking to somebody else. This is the type of person that he was. Three things stand out in my mind when I think of Doc Speidel, and I'm sure Johnny can verify these. Number one was he never wanted the other coach to think that somebody was underweight. I grew up under the days of the tense rivalry between Rex Perry and Charlie Speidel and Leroy Allitz and Dick Bolivar and Ed Perry and Jerry Lehman. But he never wanted anybody to know that anybody was underweight. Charlie didn't. So we used to always have to wear either a sweatshirt or a T-shirt, and he'd put weights on us. So if I was going to wrestle 77, which I did 3 years, and I don't even weigh 77 now, when I stepped on that scale, I weighed 177. I often wonder what people thought when we stepped out and had to take our jacket off the night we wrestled. But this was one of those things, I don't care who you were. If he had a heavyweight, he kind of felt, well, if we have a heavyweight, he ought to weigh 220 pounds. I can tell you right now, he did. The next thing is, and again, John, you can verify this, and this might be something for the memorabilia of the Hall of Fame. Charlie always had an old cow scale that we always took with us. And he had it in a wooden box, and the managers used to get together, and the plebes, or not the plebes, I better not say that, I'm not at West Point, but the freshmen always had to carry this box. And no matter where we went, we'd take it up to the room in the hotel, get the cow scale out, and we'd check our weights. And Bill, I don't know what you ever did with that, if you ever kept that or not, but we had that for a long time. And the last thing is my sophomore year in college, we were undefeated, and we tied Pitt for the Eastern Championship that year at Princeton. And we were getting ready to wrestle Lehigh, and Lehigh had just beaten our JV team pretty badly, and the crowd was really getting excited. And we're just getting ready to go out, and Charlie says, "Come here, Docs, I got to talk to you." So we went over, and he got these papers out, and he said, "Look what I found." He said, "Here's their scouting report." And he went right down, and it said, like, the 23-pounder, he's not really as strong as he thinks he is. It said that Piper's not a leg man, even though he went right down. Well, by the time we went out there, we were so furious, I think we could have wrestled anybody. And, of course, we did go out, and we did win. And when we finally got in the shower, we realized that Doc had made up the whole thing. Well, I just want to thank you for inviting me tonight. And if Doc was here, he'd say, "Hey, Doc, how you doing?" Thank you. I have to think that if Charlie were here tonight, he would have to say that this is the moment. This is the moment and the highlight of his wrestling career. I think he would want to thank the Pennsylvania State University for giving him the opportunity to be an educator and a coach. I think he would want to thank all of his wrestlers for the dedication and the heart they gave him through his years of coaching. I think he would want to thank his wife, Mill, who has stuck through everything, wins, losses, and draws. On behalf of all those who wrestled for Doc, I would like to thank him for his humanistic manner in the way he handled us as individuals and young men. I would like to thank him, I think we would all like to thank him for his mental and physical preparedness for competition. Most of all, I believe we would all like to thank him for his love and his friendship that have carried us through the years since we first knew him. Thank you.
Legends is presented by the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and produced by the Matt Talk Podcast Network. If you want to hear more from wrestling's legends, contribute to this ongoing project at hallofamelegends.org/contribute. One-time and small monthly donation options are available. We hope you've enjoyed this look into wrestling history. This has been Legends. I'm Jason Bryant.